Good day, I am Pizon from BSH and 3B. In this video presentation, we will tackle about Chapter 9, the Strategy Framework. Particularly at the end of this chapter, the student should be able to first, understand the beginnings of strategy. Second, analyze strategy from a deeper and broader perspective. Third, distinguish strategy as concept. Fourth, explain where strategy is a tool. Fifth, analyze in what ways are people considered a strategy. Sixth, evaluate strategy as both a learning and a mindset. And last, demonstrate the utility of the balanced scorecard and strategy maps. So the strategy timeline. So in the past, tactics and schemes were informally implemented as when a person competed in a game, when an organization engaged in business, or when a government went to war. So for example, nations like Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, and England competed to colonize the world. So history also tells that the Dutch ruled Indonesia for more than 300 years as the Spaniards did in the Philippines. So their actions imply an approach popularly called strategy. But through the years, strategy took a more formal character through individuals who studied its nature, its varied forms, and modes of implementation. So the prehistory of strategy was seen early in the person of Sun Tzu. So he is a Chinese military general, philosopher, and strategist who lived in the spring and autumn of ancient China. So his strategies are best written in the book The Art of War from 400 BC. So Sun Tzu emphasized the importance of strategic thinking and the application of military tactics. So his work stresses the significance of understanding the terrain, the enemy, and oneself to achieve victory. So another strategist is Niccolo Machiavelli. From 1513, he advocated pragmatic approaches to governance and power dynamics in The Prince, shaping political strategy. Third, Alfred Chandler. From 1962, so he established organizational strategy theories in strategy and structure, focusing on aligning structure with strategic goals. Another strategy was Igor Ansoff from 1965. So he developed frameworks for corporate strategy, including market penetration, product development, market expansion, and diversification. Then Peter Drucker. From 1969, he explored business strategy and organizational change in the age of discontinuity, emphasizing adaptation to rapid change. Then Michael Porter from 1980, he transformed business strategy with competitive strategy, emphasizing industry analysis, competitive advantage, and strategic positioning. Then Kenichi Ohmae from 1982 introduced the concept of emergent strategy, highlighting the role of organizational interaction with the environment. Then Noel Tichy from 1982, he analyzed strategy dynamics from technical, political, and cultural perspectives in managing strategic change. Then Peter Senge from 1990 explored organizational learning and system thinking in the fifth discipline, emphasizing continuous improvement in strategy. Henry Mansberg from 1994 critiqued traditional strategic planning in The Rise and Fall of Strategic Planning, advocating for more flexible approaches. And last, Ari de Guillos from 1997, he explored the characteristic of enduring organizations in the living company, highlighting the importance of adaptability for longevity. So from the years 2000 to the present, we have seen new modes of looking at strategy, whether in individual companies, in government, in technology, and other allies orientations.
Strategy. As I mentioned earlier, the concept of strategy has a long way in history about making plans to achieve something. In the past way, people used strategy for everything, from trading goods to building structure, and also today leaders in a business and government use strategy to make a smart decision. It was implied to explicitly state, but it was also instance. Strategy was deliberate government leadership, corporate executives, and also business leader. and administration make use of strategy. In this chapter has evolved into something quite due to the changing nature of competition. Let's explore strategy as a concept, as a tool, and as a embodied by people. First, strategy as a concept. Personal or corporate. Strategy as a concept helps individuals or organization to understand the underlying principles, the theories that guide the planning decision making. It provides us a specific goals. Second, we have strategy as a tool. It is the best tool, a practical instrument or method used to reach of specific objectives or goal. For instance, a business might use market research as a tool to develop as a market strategy to individuals who can use it. Third, strategy as a people concept. In some cases, individuals themselves can embody strategy. Their skills, leadership, qualities, and ability to adapt can drive strategic initiative, and also effective leaders can be seen as a living of strategic thinking.
Strategy as a concept. Due to the popularity of the word strategy, perception and the thoughts evolved through the years. Some management gurus considered strategy as a concept, an idea, a theory, a model, or simply views and beliefs. In this section, concepts that are related to strategy will be discussed. They include intellectual elasticity, mindset learning, and natural capital and intellectual capital. There are the five strategic concepts: intellectual elasticity, mindset, learning, natural capital, intellectual capital. Strategy is intellectual elasticity. The concept of intellectual elasticity came from Pinichi, considered as the Japan's only management guru. Ohame wrote The Mind of Strategies in 1982. He says strategies stem from creative minds and not from rote memory. There are no magic formulas for creating brilliant formulas. Ohame is known for developing concept of ideas mode of thinking called strategic thinking. This concept understood that the mind of strategies is uh, practically that intellectual elasticity. Intellectual elasticity essentially refers to the flexibility and adaptability in coming up with realistic response to changing situation. According to Ohame, uh, paan daw sana strategy daw kay usa siya ka intellectual elasticity. So isip ikaw nga isa ka businessman dapat creative ka o flexible nga if naay mga pabag-o sa imong business dali ra ka maka-adapt. When designing the business strategy, three main players must be taken into account. There are the company, the customers, and the competitors. For my strategy is intellectual elasticity can be best portrayed in the following situation. First, uh, in launching radical initiatives, strategy is refers to as creativity. B, second one is the in identifying the key success factors in one's business. Strategy may mean uh, investing additional time, money, and effort in the factors that have the greatest potential to succeed. C. In matching the company's unique skills to the needs of the customer, strategy is having the flexibility to study and to adapt to the environment. So, to segmentize uh, and to concretize improvement strategies. Uh,
Strategy is learning. One of the more widely discussed concepts of strategy today is based on the learning organization model. This call to learn is a root on the reality of changing environment. Change demand learning and means continued change. Learning from an organizational perspective is process of maintaining and improving performance is experientially based on fact and data. Learning is an accident activity, although it may happen consequently or otherwise. So, base sa atong mga new environment, nadto ang strategy to make unique and different. Kasagaran sa mga muhimo ani or naadyoy mga strategy is a successful job nga naay proper planning ag usa ka industry or company. Widely po ni siya or tibuok line up sa industry to make it og different strategy to make their business more famous. Learning refers to any old and new knowledge and competencies gained or enhanced from persons, institute, book, experience, training, and others come in the form of data, fact, information, skill, value, attitude, or philosophies. Learning is limited to personal learning. The center of maximum learning is or organizational according to the Science 1990. Learning is organization is easily identified and discussed in activity. Change demand. Ang learning means continue change learning from an organizational perspective. So as the time pass, sa imong mga nagian or na-experience, makahimo or create ka og laing idea. Like para mohimo na sad og mga new strategy, being able to make a new strategy can make or makahimo sa imong business and unique and famous. So it's encompassed in a wide range of sources. For example, ani is knowledge and skill acquired from various sources such as people, institute, experience, and training. It's highly learning in not restricted to individuals but also course within organizational where it can be observed through various activity and described by Senge in 1990. Strategy is natural capital which refers to Porter concept of competitive advantage. Hawkins 1999 looked at strategy as a natural capital. They enumerate the components of natural capital, namely natural resources, living system, and ecosystem services. The features start to state the central strategy of natural capitalism. They are the following: focusing on radical resource product, moving to eliminate waste, moving to solution based on business model where value is delivered as a flow of services, and we're investing in natural capital to reverse planetary destructions. Hawkins 1999 emphasized that both environment and economic priorities are compatible with one another. When taking these lights, natural capital create a competitive advantage. Thus, it can enhance instance that strategy considered natural capital. Last is number 5. Strategy is an intellectual capital in a closer perspective. Strategy is an intellectual capital. The book Intellectual Capital, published in 2004, considered two categories of knowledge. One of common knowledge and the other is intellectual capital. It's defined common knowledge and the other is intellectual capital. It defines common knowledge as straight and ordinary because it simple satisfies minimum expectation and knowledge. S- Strategy can be seen as a form of intellectual capital or company plan of action, and to manage and protect intangible assets. Kani capital refers to the knowledge and expertise within an organization, or they can contribute to its value and competitiveness. In this context, the statement highly the importance of the strategic thinking and planning as a valuable asset sa usa ka organization. This is a common knowledge which is considered basic and ordinary with intellectual capital, which is more valuable siya and goes beyond minimum expectation. That's all. Thank you.